Hello, welcome to the Bumpin Em Show. To the left of me, I have...
Yo, this is Matt St. Louis.
My name's Sean Paul.
And to the right of me...
Hi, it's your boy Chandler Green. You already know.
Richie Bien-Aimé.
And today is our first show. We're going to discuss the NFL, the NBA. We're going to discuss various soccer games, and of course, the MLB World Series, which ended last night. So, the first topic is the NFL. What do you think of the Green Bay versus Atlanta game?
Well, I think Green Bay, they played all right. It definitely was a good game. It came down to the final quarter with a Falcon touchdown to go ahead of one. And Green Bay, they tried to come back down, and it was fourth down, and they did not get it, sadly. But Matt Ryan was one of the top performers I have. He had 288 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. And Jordy Nelson had 4 receptions, 94 yards, and a touchdown for Green Bay. And we can move on to Dallas and Philadelphia. Dallas wins that one, surprisingly.
Boys.
I feel as though Dallas definitely played a great game, obviously. Dak Prescott definitely showed out. And he's been a rookie. He's a great rookie this year, I think. He's been showing out that, obviously, the youth does not matter in this league.
So what do you think of the young, experienced Dallas team, and what do you think they can? Do you think they're playoff ready?
Because of their youth and inexperience, no. I don't think they're ready for the playoff lights.
Wow.
Just be shining on them.
Wow. I think that the Dallas Cowboys are playoff ready regardless of their youth. Dak Prescott, he's a young quarterback, but I feel like he still has veteran leadership behind him. Tony Romo can still show him what to do. And they have the best receiver in the NFL, Des Bryant. He could lead his young receivers and show them what to do, and the same with Elliott. So I feel like inexperience is not going to be a problem for that team.
Do you think this game proves that?
I think this game shows that they know how to perform when it comes down to late moments and important moments. So I feel like their youth doesn't matter. They're growing every game, and they're becoming more poised.
And this was a great game. It went into overtime, and they went down on the drive, and Jason Witten caught a touchdown from Dak Prescott, and he actually rolled around the pocket for a long time before finding Jason Witten.
Yeah.
So, him
It's
being
guys
able
like
to
that.
him being able to extend the play, without taking a sack or even turning over the ball and getting something out of it was
It's
actually
guys
pretty
like
good.
that.
Yeah.
Jason Witten, Des Bryant, those are experienced guys who have been in the playoffs before. They could show them what it is. And Dak Prescott, Tony Romo is on the bench to show him what he needs to do, teach him the ropes. So
what do
I
you
feel
think
like
about-
that's not a problem.
What do you think about this next game?
Jacksonville versus Tennessee. DeMarco Murray had a great game. Obviously, 21 carries for 123 yards and a touchdown. Blake Bortles actually did a great job too. He had 337 passing yards with 3 TDs, and and they were actually up big, 27-0 at the half. So basically, from that point on, they had the game on lock. Jacksonville tried their best to come back, but they just couldn't. So, shout outs to Tennessee for that great win. And some upcoming games this week that you should look out for.
What do you think is the best game of the week?
Best game of the week for this weekend?
Yeah.
Giants, Eagles.
Yeah, Giants, Eagles.
It's got to be the best game coming up this week. NFC
Definitely.
East matchup.
Yeah.
All right, so that's one to watch. Okay, moving on to the NBA. One of the games we have here is the Cavaliers versus the Raptors.
Yes.
What do you think of that game?
That was a great game. LeBron James said that he has an MVP on his team, and we would think it would be LeBron James, but he was talking about Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie Irving really showed so far this season, and in that game in particular, that he's an MVP caliber player. He led the team with 26 points that game, and he hit the game winner with 44 seconds left to win by 3 points.
So on that same vein, what do you think is the early MVP prediction? What do you think?
Kyrie Irving is going to be a candidate, but I have to say that the MVP this year is going to be Damian Lillard.
What do you think of that?
I don't think that's correct.
Why not?
That's a head scratcher.
The way Russell Westbrook's been playing right now, I think he's going to take it. I mean, he was the first player to get 100 points in 3 games, right? And 30 assists and 30 rebounds.
I don't see Lillard doing that.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't see him
You
either.
got also
What do you
look at it
think?
from a different
What do you
point
think
of
is going to
view.
be the...
Westbrook?
You
No
agree?
one else is doing what he's doing right now. And I don't think that's gonna change.
Here's how I feel about that. Westbrook is putting up some crazy numbers right now. I mean, he's definitely gonna be 1, 2, or 3 candidate, but what it's gonna come down to is I don't see him putting up these numbers throughout the whole
I
season.
agree.
And on top of that, I don't see his team being one of the top teams in the West. And if your team is not winning, you're not gonna win the MVP.
True.
Speaking
but
of Russell Westbrook, what do you think of the Lakers versus Thunder game?
Wow. Russell Westbrook had 33 points, 16 assists, and 12 rebounds in this game. Second triple-double of the year. And I feel like it was a dominating performance for him and that team. But then again, that's the Lakers. I don't see Russell Westbrook doing the same thing against tougher teams in the Western Conference like the Warriors, the Spurs, Clippers. I don't see him doing the same thing.
I think he will. I mean, he really has no choice since KD left. I mean,
Actually, you're right. I
he's
said
the
that
only
wrong.
superstar on the team
He's
now.
gonna put
so
up the same numbers. I don't see his team putting up
Yeah.
the same outcome.
now I don't think they're gonna win every game, obviously, but I think
Or a
they're
lot of
definitely
them
it's,
at all.
yeah, it's definitely gonna be close. It's gonna be a close game with them because Westbrook, he's not
No,
gonna
it's
go
not.
down. He's not gonna go down easy.
No, it's not.
Why?
It's not going to be a close game. Anytime the Thunder play against the Warriors,
No.
the Clippers, these are top teams in the Western Conference, and the Thunder have 2 scorers. One of them being Victor Oladipo, aside from Westbrook, and they have some big men. But I don't see this team staying with teams like the Warriors, who are so deep, and the Spurs.
Very true.
So, what do you think is the best game this weekend?
The best game coming up.
Coming.
I think the Bulls versus the Heat is going to be the best game coming up this week. November 10th, Thursday. This is Derrick Rose is Dwayne Wade, pardon me, is going back to Miami for the first time since deciding to leave after 13 years.
I think he's gonna show out, especially coming back.
He has to show
He
out.
has to. Yeah.
Miami disrespected him, so he's got to come and put
Yeah.
30 on their head.
He needs to.
Maybe
And I think he will.
35.
All right. So now we're gonna move on to the soccer section of the show. I'm gonna get you guys out of here, and we're gonna come back later.
All right.
We're gonna start off with Tottenham Leicester, where it was a close game. It was 1-1, and what do you think it represents for Leicester's season? Do you think they're improving from their disappointing start?
I think currently Leicester are more focused on Champions League football than Prem right now because right now they sit on 11th place, whereas last year they were second. So, and they're still the only. Oh, yeah,
Leicester?
they're-
Yeah.
Yeah, they were first
Yeah,
last year at
of
this
course.
point. I apologize.
Yeah.
And also, I see because and I think Leicester are the only team in the Champions League that still haven't conceded a goal as well.
Yeah.
Mark that.
Yeah. First
And-
team in the first 4 games.
Yeah, that hasn't
Yeah.
conceded a goal yet. So, for the Tottenham versus Leicester game, finished 1-1. Jansen for Tottenham scored his first league goal, which was pretty big for him. Big new signing.
Another penalty, which he's been scoring a lot of.
Yeah, which he's been scoring a lot of. Musa also scored his first league goal of the season.
So how disappointing do you think it will be if Leicester don't make Champions League this season?
I think if they don't make Champions League this weekend, this whole Leicester craze is probably going to have an end to it currently.
Yeah, I think they're still going to be fine in the league. I just think that they need some type of European football to keep this
they
up.
need some type of European football. But currently, they're doing just fine in their group stage for the Champions League.
Yeah, they're doing fine in the Champions League, but they need that league performance because they need the Champions League brings an incredible amount of money, and I think
Yeah, and they need that money for the future that's coming up because their youth isn't looking too sweet either. So,
yeah, exactly. All right, so next up is Juventus Napoli, where
that was a really good
Higuain
game.
scored the winning goal against his former team, who he controversially joined Juventus from over the summer
for 94 million.
for the world. He was the world record signing for I think about a couple hours before
Yeah.
Pogba was snatched up by Man U. So neither team really played well, but it was a good game, and
It
I
was a
think,
good game. It was a full stadium as well, which we don't
Yeah.
get to see a lot in the Serie A.
yeah, definitely.
And they're both. Neither team played very well, but Juventus had that cutting edge
Yeah,
that over Napoli.
and I think it's obvious they're gonna win the title.
It's
they
obvious,
did.
but this year Serie A is pretty competitive with I think AC Milan is playing pretty well with the Donnarumma, 17-year-old, doing his thing in that team.
Yeah, I would say so, but I don't think any team has a realistic chance of winning.
They don't have the
besides
depth of
Juventus.
Juventus. They don't have the depth.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, Everton West Ham, another disappointing result for West Ham. They were
West Ham.
beaten easily by 2 goals by Romelu Lukaku and Ross Barkley. What do you think that this means for West Ham's season?
I think come the January transfer window, a lot is going to happen for West Ham.
I would say
because
so.
I think they bought a lot of players coming into the team this summer. They bought, I think, like a couple wingers, and I think their most expensive player ever got injured the first game against Chelsea. What was his name?
And then Zaza has been very
And
disappointing.
Zaza has been very, very disappointing.
Yeah.
They sold a striker who I actually rated, Valencia.
Yeah.
They sold
me
him to
too.
the team that beat them
To
2-0.
Everton. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for them. But hopefully they could come back because I rate West Ham highly.
They did win in the previous two, and then this was the loss. So, but
Yeah, they beat Chelsea's youth, if you could say.
yeah,
On-
but that was
on-
a youth
on the
side.
cup, on a cup game, but
Yeah, so it's good for them that they're doing well in the cup, but they really need to improve their performance.
they really need to improve their.
Even
their
if Slaven Bilic
performance
wants to
in the-
keep his job, because at this point he might
Yeah, at this
even
point
get
you don't know. It's a head scratcher.
fired. Exactly. Okay, and then let's talk
Uh,
about Chelsea
Chelsea
Southampton,
versus-
which was an amazing
That was a
performance
very
by
good
Chelsea.
game. Very good game by Chelsea.
And this change of formation is really
Helping Chelsea out this whole season. The new coach Antonio Conte doing his thing, letting Conte run, letting Hazard have the free roam that he
Yeah.
needs and to perform. And I also Chelsea's defense is looking very good right now. Disappointing that their captain John Terry's not playing, but I think they're playing really, really well. The three at the back with Aspi, David Luiz, and Cahill.
yeah.
Cahill at the back, that's really good with the wing backs.
So the most obvious absence though was says Fabregas, who made it on the bench only. So do you think he should be sold during January?
I rate Fabregas very, very, very highly, but he can't play by himself in that midfield role. He needs to have at least another one to cover him.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think the thing about Conte is he doesn't care if you've won a World Cup. He doesn't care if you've done this, done that. But if you're not there to work hard for the team, you're not going to be a spot for that starting 11.
So you think he should be sold?
I don't know, because Fabregas last year, out of all the players that were actually playing, he was not that bad for us. I mean, obviously Willian was the best one,
Yeah.
but Fabregas was not that bad.
I would still sell him. In my opinion, I would still sell him. He's defensively inept. He can't cover back, and
Yeah,
I
that's-
just
that's
think
true.
that
That's
we have to
very true.
compensate him for him too much, especially because Matic in this free role is finally getting assists.
Yeah, finally.
Like even up to the rate of close to Fabregas in a couple of
not.
seasons ago, but for last season he's doing just as well of a job creatively.
Yeah, Conte has been playing a very key signing. I think he had the week before last week he had Pogba in his pocket, and that whole Manchester United
Yeah,
lineup in his pocket.
definitely. All right, so the big surprise actually of the weekend was Man City versus Barcelona.
Yes, it
They're a
was.
3-1 win, which
3-1
De Bruyne played excellent in,
De Bruyne
and
was excellent.
Mourinho is just going to be ruining that chance of having
Actually
him in his
playing,
team. Yeah.
when he was at Chelsea. Gundogan was fantastic as well. Sterling, really good player.
He was. It seems like Man City's finally getting together now.
Yeah, Aguero unfortunately did not score. He played very well though.
Yeah. So let's see. The big games of the weekend is Napoli-Lazio. Always a good game because of the passion of Italian fans. So I think a good prediction is 1-1.
Yeah, good position. 1-1. Napoli are fifth. Lazio are fourth, separated by just 1 point. Give that.
So yeah, it's an important game, but I think they're both going to tie it, especially given the defensive nature of
Yeah.
Italian football. So the big game of the week, though, of course, is Arsenal versus Tottenham, the North London derby.
That's game of the week actually.
Yeah, exactly. Arsenal is second and Spurs are fifth, but they're separated by only 3 points, just like much of the top half of the table is close.
The league right now is very tight, so you can't even drop 1 point, or even a tie could separate being third or fourth or first or second. So it's really, really tight right now.
Yeah, both teams are in a good vein of form. Arsenal are unbeaten in the last 9 games, and Tottenham are unbeaten in their last 10 games in the league. And they have both drawn half of the last 6 meetings between them. So I think a draw is a good choice for that. But who do you think is going to win?
I go Arsenal for the win because it's the first time in a couple of years they just eased by through the group stage of the Champions League. And last game, they made a lot of their defenders have a rest. Bellerin did not play. Neither did Monreal. They started Jenkinson and Gibbs, which are the backup fullbacks for them. So I think they rested those two for the game that's coming up this weekend. I think I go Arsenal 2-0, 2-1 because Arsenal are home.
I would have to agree because Tottenham just haven't been playing that well. They haven't lost in a while.
Yeah.
But but they're tying games a lot, and
They're-
that's really destroying their confidence.
That's very true, and they're tiring their players. They just had a game yesterday. They lost against Bayern Leverkusen 1-0.
Yeah, exactly. So they have lost, but in the league they've been tying and winning mostly, but not impressively.
Yeah.
So I would say an Arsenal win too. I would guess 3-1. I would say Sanchez definitely gets on the score sheet.
Yeah, I go Ozil with an assist.
Yeah, definitely Ozil. So the big news of the week was Inter firing Frank de Boer. He just wasn't good enough for the club.
This is what I don't like seeing because I mean, I understand the manager's not well enough for the team, but so why didn't you think about that before you signed them, that this would be a probability?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Frank de Boer he did his thing at Ajax for a while, but that's Ajax when it comes to Italian football. It's different.
Yeah, precisely. Ajax is a pretty easy team because they don't have much competition,
No.
I would say, relatively. And so Gareth Bale, he signed a new deal and capped it off with a good goal over the week, but
Yeah.
it's worth $600,000 a week, which is just insanity.
That's what hard work and dedication does for you. Because Gareth Bale is probably as complete of a footballer as you could get out of anyone. He's fast, strong, quick. He could use either leg from anywhere in the field. I think he deserves this deal a lot. I think he really deserves this. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. So our best team of the week, I would say, is Juventus because they came up with a good win against a good Napoli side, and this really made up for their loss versus AC Milan last week, which was heartbreaking given that they lost against pretty much an 18-year-old who scored AC Milan's goal.
I agree.
Yeah. And then our player of the week we decided was Robert Lewandowski, who had 2 goals and 1 assist in a 3-1 win versus Augsburg. This improved after he had a kind of disappointing for him run of form with only one goal in the last 7 games in all competitions. And it was a really good performance by Bayern. It should be mentioned that Ronaldo scored a hat-trick, but of course it's against a lower Premier Division side, so
Yeah, that's true.
it's not as impressive as a performance.
All
right.
That wraps it up.
So now we're going to move to the MLB section, and we're going to discuss the Cubs. So the big story of the week was the Cubs winning, of course, the World Series. It was the first win in 108 years since 1908. And they blew, of course, a 3-1
Cleveland,
win.
yeah.
Cleveland blew a 3-1 win, which we will all remember is similar to
The Warriors.
the Warriors blowing a 3-1 lead. What did you think of the game? It was a very long and interesting game.
I just can't.
Oh, I know.
believe that.
I forget one of the players' names, but one of the players on the Cubs hit a leadoff homer, and that was the first ever in the Game 7 finals.
Yeah.
For MLB. He hit a leadoff homer, so the first at bat was a home run, which is pretty crazy. And that probably really set the tone for the rest of the game for the Cubs.
And
for them to take the win.
it was a lot of record breaking. It was the oldest player to ever hit a home run in the World Series.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We need a baseball expert.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell us.
Yes, we do.
Give us one. That was a really interesting game. It was really long too. So now let's move on to the best tweet of the week, not best tweet of the week. We have to decide if it's the best tweet or the worst tweet of the week about sports. From McMahon, this one is from Pete Young, where he says that LeBron is the greatest player ever.
Hands down.
We will put the tweet up here, and so let's discuss.
Hands
What we
down.
think.
He said LeBron James is the greatest player ever. Hands down.
I may want to agree. Only because he's been so dominant. I mean, he's been to what? The last 6 championships
But how
in
many
a row?
rings does he have?
He has 3. Yeah, he does. But I mean, the
Out of
first
how many times?
Bro,
has
are
he
you
done?
serious?
bro.
LeBron James is a great player. He's the best player in the world right now. He's not the best player to ever play the game. And if he was, it's not hands down. I don't see how you could possibly say hands down.
Yeah, I wouldn't say hands
no
down,
argument. LeBron James is the best player to ever play the game.
Who's
All the
your
play-
best player?
Best player to ever play the game, in my opinion. It's definitely Michael Jordan,
Okay.
but I want to say Allen Iverson.
AI.
For what he did at his size and what he did for the game. He changed the game. He changed the way people acted off the court, on the court. He changed what the NBA player looked like, and he was very dominant. But just purely basketball, Michael Jordan was the best player to ever play the game.
I mean, LeBron could play all 5 positions if
Michael
he really wanted
Jordan
to.
played all 5 positions for his team.
I don't know. I mean, he did have Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman
That's
too.
true.
You know, and
mean,
they were nice. They're Hall of Famers.
There's a lot of arguments, but
Yeah.
LeBron James is not the best player to play, hands down.
Yep.
You can't say that.
Okay.
You gotta be kidding me, Peter.
So, who would you suggest instead? So you would say
said
that, say
MJ.
that,
He said
you'd say
MJ,
MJ, yeah.
Michael Jordan's the best player to ever play the game.
That would be your final
That's
answer.
my final answer.
Okay, I got you. So now we're gonna move on to the fail of the week, which take it away.
NBA fail of the
NBA
week.
fail of the week. Joakim Noah.
What are you doing? Joakim Noah, what are you doing? In the video above, you're going to see Joakim Noah catch the ball at the 3-point line. Now, if I could talk to him real quick, there's a reason that nobody is anywhere near you to guard you. They know that you can't shoot the ball. So why would you try to step in and shoot the ball? Joakim Noah tries to step in and shoot the ball, and
he airballs.
He airballs the shot.
Not even near the net.
Other team gets the rebound, and as you see in the video above, Joakim Noah is completely lost. Doesn't know where he's going, and the other team gets a dunk. What are you doing?
And the foul.
And
What are you doing?
You should
Oh my God.
Rest
go
in
retire,
peace.
honestly.
Rest
If I were
in
him.
peace.
The Knicks need a new center.
They really do.
Leave it at that.
I don't know what they were looking for when they signed Joakim Noah.
But it wasn't that.
It wasn't that.
Stay down low, please.
It wasn't that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so that wraps it up. That's our first Bumpin Em Show. We'll see you next week, I think. Yeah, I hope we will see you
See you
next,
next
week.
week.
Yeah, all right.
Yo.
See ya.